Welcome back to Rod's Radios. This is part 2 of the restoration of the Bosch BS35 radio, and it's a very short video this time because I wanted to do a little bit of cosmetic change to the cabinetry. Now, when I got this initially, I looked at it and decided that the cabinet needed to be stripped because it was in such a poor condition. So unfortunately, when I stripped it, it took away the Bosch logo that was sitting on the top edge, as you can see here from the illustration. And now with the cabinet stripped, of course, that's gone. So how to restore it? Well, luckily, before I stripped the cabinet, I took a few pictures of the cabinet itself and in particular the logo, with some intention in my mind that I might be able to restore it. But as you can see from the condition of the logo beforehand, it was in poor condition with the center missing out of it, and the photograph didn't come out very well in that it was a little bit milky. So how to restore it? I first downloaded the image into a picture editor, and you can see here what poor condition it's in. But with a little bit of time and a little bit of effort, I slowly brought it back to what I thought could be used. I changed the contrast first of all. Then I put in the missing pieces by cutting and pasting sections from adjacent areas to fill in the scrape that you can see down the middle. And then all the little white dots were taken out and replaced with colours that were adjacent to it. And in the end, I got a pretty reasonable result. So this is the result, and I think you'll agree it looks a lot more usable. Now, it still looks a bit rough, but this is on a huge TV screen in front of me here. And when it's brought down to a smaller size, it'll look suitably ancient and possibly original. So what to do next? Now I'm going to transfer it into just the Word, Microsoft Word, to try and get the size down to the correct dimension. Here I've opened up the JPEG of the Bosch logo in Microsoft Word, and I copied it 2 or 3 times to use the rulers at the top and the side to give me what I thought were reasonable dimensions. The reason I have 3 different sizes is I couldn't remember the size of the original, but I'm guessing that one of these 3 will do. And for this next part, it's important to note that I've printed out the logos using a LaserJet printer. This won't work on an inkjet, and I'll show you why in a moment. So I'm going to cut out this particular one here. I think this is the size that I will use. And now I'm going to pop it into a basin of warm water. But before I do that, I take a piece of sellotape or sticky tape and place it directly over the logo, like so. And with a piece of plastic, this is an old remote control, I'm going to push it on really solidly over the logo to make sure it's adhered to it really well. At which point I'll take off the paper, complete with tape. Trim off the tape. And then with my little basin of warm water that I'll bring over here, pop it in. Now I'm going to leave that for about 30 seconds to allow the water to absorb into the paper. So back in a mo. And 30 seconds later, I take it out and turn it over onto its back and start scraping off the paper off the back of the tape. Slowly, slowly, the paper disappears, and left behind, as if by magic, is a pretty good decal from Bosch Radio. And all I have to do is to wash the rest off in the tap to clean it up, which I shall do now. And here's the result. Pretty good, I think, and you can see it against the white background that it's reasonably authentic. and it's only sliver thin on the back of the sellotape. As I mentioned earlier, this won't work with an inkjet printer, but for some reason it seems to transfer fine with a laserjet printer. So time to pop it back onto the cabinet. And here it is back on the cabinet, looking as though it never left. So that's it for this video. If you have been, thanks for watching and join me in the next episode.